How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. So, big development yesterday. Gerrit Cole returns to the mound, obviously with Somerset in Double-A. And, coincidentally, guess who gets promoted the day after catching my guy, Gerrit Cole? It's Ben Rice, the guy we've been talking about for the better part of a year. We've been all over Ben Rice in terms of the prospect pool and his evaluations. And, well, what do you know? He catches Gerrit Cole one time. Gerrit Cole says Ben Rice was great back there. And the next day he gets promoted. Go figure. I don't know if it's a coincidence or it's Gerrit Cole saying that guy does not belong in Double-A, but who knows? Maybe Gerrit will put a good word in for him, and now you have Ben Rice at Triple-A, and probably going to get some reps over Carlos Narvaez as that primary, and Josh Breaux as the primary catcher. So excited to see where he plays there. But Gerrit Cole looked fantastic. He struck out a number of batters. He mowed through 7 opposing batters. I mean, look, it's Double-A, and Gerrit Cole's a Cy Young Award-winning pitcher. He's going to destroy them, but he also was going like probably 75%. He probably was not going 100% in this start. So you're seeing him at he's going easy on them and still kicking their ass, which you love to see. But Ryan, break down his day. How did he perform? What are you kind of taking away from this? The positives, obviously, came back healthy, really looking sharp. He should probably get promoted pretty soon to Triple-A. A couple extra rehab games under his belt, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was, back with the Yankees in the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was super encouraging just to see the command, right? Command is something that actually takes a lot longer than stuff to build back up, coming back from an injury. And I think it's also important to note that Cole talked in that press conference specifically about his velocity. He did mention that the stadium gun was off. So if you see the stadium readings on the broadcast, if you did watch the game either on the Rewind on Yes Network or live when it happened, you would see some 97s on the graphics. And those were not correct, but Cole did confirm in that press conference that he did sit 94 to 97 with the fastball, which is right around where we saw him last season. I think the really impressive thing as well was the ability to mix in all of his pitches. He got to throw everything, which, that's, again, you just kind of check it off the the checklist. I also think that when you're looking at building him up, as you mentioned, he doesn't feel like he's too far away. He used the phrase around the corner to describe himself, his potential return. Now, do I think Gerrit Cole's going to come back in a week? No. Do I think he's going to come back in 2 weeks? I'd say also no. But do I think he come back, for that third start? Let's say it's, rehab start, then LB start? Absolutely, right? So if you're talking about building your pitch progressions, it'd probably go from 45 to, let's say, around 60, and then we could build that up potentially to the 80 range, and then that final progression to around that 90 to 100. You could do it at the major league level. The Yankees are really good. They have some depth in their bullpen. They could keep Cody Poteet up if they would want to have some multi-inning relief arms to give them some more coverage there. They have the bullpen to kind of cover for Gerrit Cole if Cole needed to build up a little bit still, and was it at the 100%, 100 picks, 110 pitch max it usually is. And end of the day, Alex, this is a really good day for the Yankees. Obviously, the win is great. Luis Gil shoving is great. All that stuff is great. But the big storyline is that your ace, the best pitcher on this team, isn't too far away from returning.
Absolutely. And look, this rotation is already one of the best. I think we posted this morning on social, second best ERA in baseball. We just lost Clark Schmidt. Obviously, Cole kind of fills that void for us. In the meantime, Cody Poteet moves back into a depth role, if not goes back to Triple-A. So, look, this rotation has overperformed across the board, right? Nestor Cortez has a 3.3 ERA. He's our worst starter. And by the way, go look at the Mets, the crosstown Mets right now. I think Severino has a 3.57, 3.6 ERA. He's considered their ace. People are talking him up like he's the talk of the town. Severino's been amazing. He's going to be a valuable asset at the trade deadline. This dude is having a marginally worse season than our worst starting pitcher right now, right? Just keep that in mind. The guy the Mets are glazing right now would be our worst starter. Wouldn't even be in our freaking rotation if we had everybody healthy. Keep in mind how good we are. This is an embarrassment of riches if you're a Yankee fan right now. Everything is clicking. Everything's firing on all cylinders. However, we've seen injuries pop up in crops before. Need to stay healthy, staying consistent. Today we got Carlos Rodon on the mound against Paddock. And look, the Yankees should win this game. The pitching matchup favors them. Carlos Rodon has been a bit volatile at times. He's settled down a lot over the last 3 or 4 or 5 starts, which you'd love to see. Rodon's been pretty resilient. Even when he's given up a couple of runs, he's come back and really hammered it home and, throwing that fastball really well and that slider too. So, looking at this rotation right now, when Cole comes back, he's your ace. He's the guy. He's the man. He's the guy that's, opening up a playoff game. But I don't think they're going to push him that hard. I think they're going to ask him to throw, 85, 90 pitches first outing, gradually work his arm back into the mix here. let's say fast forward 2 months from now, Clark Schmidt returns looking good, arm's feeling good, he's in his groove. What happens then if this team is fully healthy? That's a question you ask for later. Of course, like Aaron Boone says, things kind of just manage to work themselves out. Just like Jason Dominguez here, all it takes is a Giancarlo Stanton strained whatever, and Jason Dominguez is in our DH spot tomorrow, right? Like that's kind of where we're at right now. And Stanton historically has been very injury prone, so we could be very close to that being a reality. God help me if they put Trent Grisham in the DH, I will literally cut off my own toes. Give me Jason Dominguez in the DH spot, please. If that happens, of course we don't want that to happen. I'm just saying as a worst case, it's kind of funny, Ryan, like our worst case scenario for Stanton going down may actually be more beneficial than him playing. How funny is that? Our worst case scenario may actually be better than Stanton playing. I'll let you get your thoughts on that. It's kind of a good situation to be in if you're a Yankee fan right now.
I mean, we're a year removed from, let's like call up Jake Bauers. Like I remember Jake Bauers the most exciting thing to happen since sliced bread for that 2023 team for like a couple of weeks, right? I just having, as you mentioned, Dominguez, and knowing that Dominguez doesn't have to come up. He only has to come up if, as you mentioned, something bad happens to this team, is a good thing for the Yankees. That's a win. And I know people don't want to hear that. People don't want to hear, you got to keep Dominguez in AAA for a little bit, let him work on some things. And people think he's, wasting away there, which I think is silly, right? Like there are always things to work on. He could refine his center field defense. He can refine his hitting from the right-handed side. There are always things to improve when you're not an established superstar at the major league level, right? Like that's just the way the world works. Furthermore, Stanton is somebody who has also kind of evolved into just being, I think, objectively more valuable than he was last year. And objectively, I mean, he has a 120 WRC plus, right? I think that's the exact number. If you told me that in March in spring training, that Stanton be, 120 WRC plus 15 home runs on June 5th, I'd be like, hell yeah, man. That's amazing, right? And then kind of referencing your point about the starting pitching, I think a lot of people, and I know this is going to come off maybe as a little bit defensive about criticism of a player, but like for example Nestor Cortez, I see so many people saying, get ready to learn bullpen, man, this guy stinks, like this and that. He's got a 3.3 ERA. Like we're talking about the guy as if he has a below average ERA. His ERA is 11% better than the league average. His underlying metrics are fine. They're like, yeah, he's about, if not a little bit better than what his ERA suggests. If that's the biggest problem with my team, I don't know what to say. I'm going to keep it honest with you. I mean, I know, Ben Rice, obviously, Gerrit Cole had a lot good to say about him as a catcher. I'm not ready to give up on him as a catcher because I think his progressions there are notable. But, hey, first base is the problem, right? First base is the position I'm looking at, right? I think I've seen signs of life from Gleyber. I'm starting to see him tick in the right direction. I don't see signs of life from first base. So if you're a Yankee fan, in the midst of all this conversation about whether it's Stanton, whether it's Cortez, what do you do with Dominguez, this and that, I think that the thing I know on June 5th, 2024 is that I need a first baseman. I don't want a first baseman. I need a first baseman. There's a fundamental difference. And then again, kind of tying this all back to Gerrit Cole, having Gerrit Cole coming back also gives you a little bit more insurance, with your rotation. End of the day, rotation injuries are the most volatile, right? I saw a tweet. I think this is such a good tweet. Luis Seal, Marcus Stroman, Carlos Rodon, Nestor Cortez, everything we said about those guys, and everybody said about those guys were, those are the injury-prone kind of, you're scared of them getting hurt guys. Gerrit Cole and Clark Schmidt were your workhorses. Clark Schmidt's going to miss 2 months. Gerrit Cole missed the first 2 months, right? Like isn't baseball such a weird sport? So, when we're talking about rotation and some people even saying, I don't need to add a start at the deadline. I think it's very interesting that every single insider has linked the Yankees to, they're probably going to look for starting pitching and bullpen help because you can never have enough pitching. You never really can. But again, just kind of tying this back to Gerrit Cole, having him back gives you that insurance that come postseason time, because this is where, Gerrit Cole separates himself from the Carlos Rodons, to the Marcus Stromans, from the Nestor Cortezes of the world. I know what I'm getting, right? And if you start looking at that playoff rotation, and I'm not trying to get ahead of myself with Luis Seal here, do the Yankees just have 2 aces? Because, I see Luis Seal, the command spinning off out of control. He's unraveling in the fourth. He doesn't know where the ball's going, and the Twins can't touch him. Just can't. Carlos Correa, 99 down the middle. Hey, man, window shopping, go take a seat, buddy. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. Gerrit Cole and Luis Seal as a combination. Either somebody steps up, becomes that third starter, you go out and acquire that third starter. This playoff rotation, bullpen kind of situation could be absolutely devastating if they stay somewhat healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys know this. Yesterday, for the first time in Carlos Correa's career, he struck out 4 times. Never had done it in his whole career, and Luis Gil put him in a freaking body bag. And you love to see it. Former Astro, love to put guys like that down, but send him to the kennel. It really,
especially at Yankee Stadium. It's like every time, like I guarantee
he's a monster there.
If you guys follow Fireside Bets, you know we had him as the last leg for like a big parlay.
Screw this. I actually ban list.
He's
ban list.
100% hitting home runs tonight.
List.
1,000,000%.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's definitely having a good game tonight. But like, we were at a plus 601 bet. All we need is Carlos Correa. Yankees are up by 4 runs after Stanton absolutely murders a hanging breaking ball. And I'm sitting there like, oh, dude, we got Juicy. We got Tommy Kahnle, who can't even, who's like giving up hits left and right. He doesn't look really good. Then they put in the Luke Weave. They live with the Weave Dog. And the Weave Dog freaking plays well. And I was like, damn it, not the Weave Dog. I wanted Tommy Kahnle to stay in to get us the hit.
Yeah, like, Weaver, come on, just hang one, man.
Yeah,
hang one.
Just hang one for us. Just a bloop single. I don't care.
It's going to piss me off so much when he hits the ball like
I know.
450, like moonshot to left field. It's going to piss me off so much.
Oh, I know. And to make up for it, I say, you know what? Screw Carlos Correa. Judge Yankees run line tonight. We're sticking with the Bombers. Chris Paddock, kick rocks. You stink. He's going to absolutely get rocked tonight. The guy, if you look at his splits, he's given up like a 300 average to lefties and righties. So we have Juan Soto and Aaron Judge in our nuclear parlay as well. So it's a very heavy Yankee bet today, I'll tell you that. But we're really confident in this team. Rodon's solid. You know, this offense is clicking. Gleyber Torres over the last 15 days. Don't blink. This guy's looking pretty solid. He has 3 homers in his last 15 games, 44 at-bats. He's in like, I don't remember, it was a 260 with like a 360 OBP. Not bad. He's trending in a better direction. If he starts to wake up a little bit, I think we got something really special going on here if we don't already. So guys, always happy to hear your thoughts down below on Gerrit Cole, his progress, you know, the outlook of this rotation moving forward. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees episode.
Perfect.